Hi everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different where I'm going to be giving you some insights into my art room and how I have things set up that I think will be helpful to you in your creation process. The first thing I'm going to share with you is how I strain and decant my pillow paint prior to using it for my creations. And that's really important because you don't want to have junk that you're picking out of your creations either before or after it's dry. The second thing I'm going to talk to you about is how I store my small items. Now, when I first started paint pouring 4.5 years ago, I looked around my house and I found a really great storage rack that I've repurposed from what it's intended for to something that I can use it for art and how I store my CDs and my coasters. The next thing I'm going to share with you is my tips for leveling my, my table. Some things that I've learned over the years. I have originally used one method and then I've evolved it into another method, and how important leveling is for when you're drying your creations and when you're getting ready to set up for resin. Absolutely critical to have a level table. The fourth thing I'm going to share with you is basically how I have my room set up, which I've never shared with you before, and it might give you some insight to my crazy or to my just how I do things in my art room, and you might get some ideas from that. The fourth thing I'm going to talk to you about is how I stash my wood boards. Now that I'm doing charcuterie boards with real wood boards, I'm going to share with you how I have them stored and stashed in my art room. And the last thing I'm going to share with you is my spinner setup. And I did a video on this about 2.5 years ago with showing you the spinner setup and the reasons why, and I'm going to just do a refresher on that in this video because there's a lot of good reasons why I have my spinner set up the way I do, and I'm going to share with you the benefits. So without any further ado, let's get started into this video. Hi everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart, and I am in the middle of decanting a new can of pillow paint, the 6011N that I use for my pillow. And as I was decanting it, and decanting it is when you open it up and you divide it out, I realized that there are a lot of chunks. There's lots of like little, like debris. Oh, this is not going to show you anything, but there was little chunks in there. So as I was pouring it in, I noticed it, and so now I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be wanting to use that in this condition. So I thought I would just turn on the camera and show you what I do. So I have a nylon. So I got nylons, right? Yeah, I'm the only lady that uses nylons for this. I don't use nylons very often. I wear blue jeans. So I get these from, like, you know, Walmart, somewhere cheap. And they're just regular nylons, right? And then you cut it down to size. Now you can use the actual strainer. I do have these, but I don't use them. I mean, I could use them. It's the same concept. You can buy that at Home Depot. This is cheaper. Those are more expensive. So I'm going to slap this guy on here with a rubber band. Get my rubber band on there. I'm going to get my nylon on there. And this is just a quickie video. I just thought I would, you know, while I'm doing this, I'm doing it anyway. I do all these things behind the camera. You guys don't even know. Sometimes I do some silly things. Just pulling it over the elastic band, or under it, I mean. And then I'm going to pour this paint in here, and I might just do it in another container. I'm just going to pour away. You see the chunk already fell in there. Yeah, look at there, another one. So yeah, this is just going to pour into this can, and I'll have it pre-made, and I won't have to worry about it. Yeah, look at that. I don't know why. You know, sometimes you just get some chunky stuff. But this is all I do. That's it. So I'll probably do it for the other one as well. So like I say, I had already pre-made And I also want to leave this open overnight as well. Actually, it looks like it's about the same amount. 32 ounces. How much is this? 36. I think I'll stop with that. Let it filter down. You can see how full it is. And I may put it in the debubbler, but I don't think I need to. I just need to decant this and let this sit open overnight so it will get a little more thickness to it. See, look at this. Yeah, yuck, yuck. You don't want to be in the middle of a pour and have to pick everything out. Yeah. That's all I do. Take the nylon, cut it. This was the toe section, so I don't have to cut it in half. Yeah. Slap it on there. Slap it on there. Elastic band. And we'll go to town again. Oops. It's not being cooperative. It's just a thing you can do to make your life a lot easier. And if you use Floetrol, American Floetrol, you want to do this as well. I do this when I strain my paint for my ornaments too. So after I get done with painting, and you know, you've seen me save it in a container like this. Actually, you can see the nylon right there. I just strain it as I go. Yeah. This also was the dregs of the prior bunch. So I figured I'll just strain this as well, because usually when you get to the bottom of a container, it gets some chunks in it. Yeah, so that's it. Look at this. Look at all that. That's a bonus. By weight over here with bonus chunks. So there you go. I just wanted to show you guys this. I'm doing it anyway. And I'll pour some of this into here and I'll be on my way. All right, everybody. A quick video just to give you a little heads up on some of the stuff I do. Okay. I'll see you whatever I do next. So this is something that I've been using for my small creations ever since I started. I happen to have these DVD racks that when my kids were playing Xbox and all that other stuff and they didn't need it anymore, well, that was about the time I started painting. And yeah, these little CD racks come in perfectly handy. You just cut, you know, a piece of cardboard or something down to size, slide your creations in there after they've dried for about a day, and then you have a great place to have them sit for a week or so until you get ready to resin. So that's one little tip. Yeah, been doing this for a while, since I started. It's called making use of something you currently have, only putting it to use in a different way. Always look at something that you have that's intended to be used in one manner and think about how you can spin it off to use it somehow else. Alrighty. So whether you're new or experienced to paint pouring, you know the importance of having a level table. And for me, if you ever just look around my art room, I have multiple levels hanging around. And when I first started out in California, when I was starting out back in spring of 2001, I bought these little levelers. They come in packs of 4, and I got them off of, I think I bought them from Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. And then what I would have some of these little MDF boards, and I would put those little levelers underneath, and I would level up this board so that my creations would dry flat. Well, when I came to Asheville, I met with one of my friends up the road who happens to work in wood. And we were exchanging a lot of help between each other for a while there. And one of the things that he did for me, which was phenomenal, was he came up with these tables that these little levels are built into the table. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, they're just drilled in to the flat surface of the table. Oh, here's a better example. So underneath there is the little leveler, and you can make it go up or down, and when you change it, it changes, of course, the level. So when you get ready to lay your stuff out, in this case I'm getting ready to resin this and other things, probably tomorrow, you get your leveler out, your level, and you just adjust each leg up or down to get the table level. Invaluable tool. I've got 3 of these little levelers. This one's my large one, that's my medium-sized, or small, and this is my medium-sized one. So if you have a handy person in the house, I would suggest you get something like this. If you're not so handy, you can get these little levelers. They're not that expensive, and they work the same way. It just doesn't go into the wood, it just doesn't go into the tabletop or whatever you're going to be putting it on. Yeah, up and down, top to bottom, left to right, and you get everything leveled up. So that's another tip for you guys. Let me just peruse the room since you don't see my room much. So I got coasters that are curing over here. I got paint skins ready to go on something. I got a bunch of clocks. If anybody wants clocks, let me know. Email me. They're not that expensive. I got this charcuterie board that's done. I just have to put a video together. I've got that charcuterie board. I've got this lazysusan I'm probably going to pour over because I don't know what the heck I was thinking with that gold on top. And then peruse over here, where I've got my, well, I have some ornaments in process. I got a yo-yo that's in process. I got those guys that I just did. Oh, got a lazysusan down there I just did. I've got this lazysusan I haven't done yet. I have not resined yet. That's an 18-incher. It's so pretty. It's going to be beautiful once it's finally resined. And over here, I have a clock. A 10-inch face for a clock. This is getting ready for a resining tomorrow. Yeah. So this is what my crazy looks like in here. But I have a really good space under the garage. All my paints. If anybody needs paints, for crying out loud, I've got paints because I was gifted a bunch of paints. So yeah, that's what I've got. So just wanted to share that with you real quick. Oh, here's my setup. The window, lights. Yeah, I've never shared this with you before. So why not? All right, back to the creation. So I've had these boards. I've been using these kind of wood boards, you know. And let me just tell you something. If you get these boards from, I think these are from Hobby Lobby. They're not the best. They're hard to work with. They're hard to work with because it's just not good board. The resin will run, it'll seep in. It's just not good. Not as good as real wood. Like that one. That is gorgeous. I don't know, I probably showed you this video already. If I have, I'll link it above. But this is that charcuterie board I've just got sitting in here for right now. But here is what I came here to show you. This is the board, the wood that I purchased today. I got 4 long boards. I got some cherry. This is some beautiful, beautiful wood. And then this is black walnut. Oh, that's black walnut. And then this, actually that's not cherry. I can't remember what that is. This is the cherry that's, whoops, over here. Look at the character on that. Yeah, so walnut, black walnut, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous wood. And I cannot remember what this wood is called. I got this from a different place. So yeah, I'm excited to get going. And now I have a supply, so I don't have to be scrounging around trying to find board. So let's get back over to the creation right now. Hey, here's another tip, and I don't talk about this very much. But this cake spinner I got off Amazon when I first started, I don't know, 4 years ago. And it's in perfect condition. I just put aluminum foil across the top of it and a Noosa cup. Now I have a video already. It's video 230 that shows how I set this up and the reasons, but this just shows you my setup. And the benefit here is I can get to my corners to clean up and to pick this tile up after I'm done. You don't have to try to scoop it out from the spinner with a spatula. Yeah, easy peasy, video 230. Definitely check that out. All right, everyone, I think that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed what I had to share with you today, some insights of how I do things in my art room and how I do things with my creations. I would ask, if you are new here, please join me, hit the bell and all. You'll get all my latest art tutorials. And I would appreciate also everyone leaving a comment, tell me what you think, and also a thumbs up is always appreciated. If you are able to hype the video when you get ready to comment, I would appreciate that as well, because I think somehow that helps my algorithm with YouTube. And what else? Check out my playlists. I have lots of playlists with different creations. I do a lot of functional art like coasters, lazysusan, charcuterie boards, clocks, even yo-yos now. Also check out my ornaments. And I have a description. If you click on the title of the video, a description drop down will happen, and you can see links to some of the videos I have that are kind of educational in nature, and also some of the links I have to some of the products I use. So I think with that, I'm going to sign off for now. Take care until next time.